All right, we're live. We're gonna try this again. No more Roadcaster, the sound deal. Let me see. This does not look level to me. Oh my gosh, that looks more level. So no more Rode. I'm trying to run this direct to my laptop. I'm gonna see how this works audio wise. It might be good, might be bad. So today, I've been swamped all day. I had a HDPE training. So that is high density polyethylene pipe. It's going to be the future of the United States, basically. A lot of Europe is way ahead of us in this stuff. No more ductile iron, no more PVC, no more concrete stuff. They're going to HDPE, and it's going to outlive several generations. So it's really cool learning about that. They use it out in the cliffs in Hawaii. They use it in Alaska in the cold and the heat of Mojave, and it does not mess up. You can run it over with hauled trucks. You can freeze negative 31 degrees, and it's still just perfect every time. Really cool product. I learned. I was there from 7 o'clock this morning to 3 o'clock, and I learned a ton of stuff. Just how they fuse it, joints, all this stuff, adapting to threads and all that stuff. So it's really, really cool. Go check that out. I'm pretty big in the sales space now, construction materials, just learning a lot of stuff. So I'm super active on LinkedIn. You guys can find me on LinkedIn. Tommy Boy, I seen a LinkedIn page. Somebody was like pretending to be Tommy Boy, and I don't know how much you guys got to watch that, years ago or whatever. And Tommy Boy was hilarious. I mean, he was like the salesman out trying to sell brake pads, and I think he just sold brake pads, but it was super funny. He sold brake pads, and he had a old toy car, and he run it, almost into a candle, and he was like, that's what happens when you use our brake pads. You get close, but we'll save you every time. And he's like, the other guys, he took another toy car, ran it into the candle, and caught it on fire on this guy's desk. And, and he was like, real smooth about it, that's what happens when you use the other guy's brake pads. And it was just super funny. We talked about that, and I brought it up in our meeting today, and we were just laughing about it, just random funny stuff that, nowadays, if you go to Netflix or Amazon TV, so much of it just looks like AI wrote it. It does no creativity, nothing that great anymore. It's kind of funny and weird and all that. So, next random topic. It's tough figuring out what to talk about when you're by yourself. Once I start interviewing more people, it's going to be way more fun, right? The flies are horrible. It's just starting to storm out here in California, so the flies are in my house super bad. Hayden Deegan just had his 450 debut. Really impressed by how that went. I used to ride motocross. I've been around it, watched it my whole life pretty much. I have lots of friends who are really big in it. To see someone come out 450 debut, he only had a week of training on it. He killed it. Got on the podium, 3rd place. Can't be more proud of the kid for that. All cockiness aside, he's flexing, he's showboating, but that's what the people want. He's giving America what people want to see. The crap talkers make him get more famous. So good for him. Good for his team, Yamaha Star Monster, I believe it is. Congratulations to him. That seemed like it went really good. I think he's up again. That race was in Argentina. I'm not sure where he's going next, but I'm sure we will talk about it another point in the podcast. Heavy D is still out of jail. I see this all over YouTube. People are talking about it. So Heavy D was arrested, and I Googled it a couple times, and it said the Utah physicians, or I think it's physicians. That's who got him arrested. Back in the day, these guys were deleting trucks and doing all this stuff, promoting deleting trucks, getting rid of the emissions on the intake side and the exhaust side. It's the thing. Before guys knew how to fix emission systems, that's how everybody was doing it. They were just taking it off and getting rid of the problem altogether. Modern emissions now, they're great. I mean, I don't know. I have a couple semis, and they have full emissions, and They don't miss a beat. So why pay, several $1,000s to take it off when it just works? I'd love to still run an old Caterpillar like everyone else. I don't know. These new Cummins are pretty awesome. 605 2050. I mean, can't beat it. It's pretty awesome. But from what I've seen, Heavy D is back out and about. He's working on a time to be released and a resolution on getting these guys paid. It's crazy that he's still dealing with this. Just because, this happened back in 2017. That was 10 years ago almost. It's right there, almost at 10 years. That's crazy that happened back then. They just arrested him over it. Nothing he can do about it, The EPA is the EPA, and it's not even the EPA that's even coming after him. It's the Utah physicians, what it says, but I'm sure it's a Clean Air Act or something like that, but it's nuts. Another topic I would like to talk about is AI. I use AI on a daily basis. I started out like everyone with ChatGPT, and then I moved to Grok, and I've used Grok for probably the last 6 months, and writing letters, spell checking stuff, modifying emails, checking over blueprints. I mean, I'll scan 20 pages of specs from a blueprint and copy and paste it into Grok. Hey, look for this. Buy America, as America, whatever. It'll find the exact thing. I'll go back through it manually and look for the same thing manually. I find the same results, and it's like Grok did it in 3 seconds, I cannot believe how fast Grok is. It's super, super, super impressive. Jay Steinberg, a guy out of, he lives in Durham now, but he owns a company called Stainless Aesthetics. I'd love to have him on at some point. He got me on a Nova. I've been looking into Nova. We were talking about just like steam rooms. He's a stainless steel fabricator, and he looked up like 1,000 square foot room with a certain 30 horsepower pump for a steam room, and he put in all these specs. Draw me a blueprint. Man, it wasn't 2 minutes, and it had blueprints drawn to City of Richmond spec or whatever city we looked up. I mean, I was just mind blown on how fast it was. I mean, it was just immediately it came up, and that's insane that's the future. I mean, they're engineers. They're going to be able to just type it into AI at some point, and it's just going to be done. And that's going to be super cool for them. Just construction industry as a whole is going to be AI. We all know it, and just part of how it is. At a certain point in all these podcasts, this one's going to be short. I mean, we're at 8 minutes. I don't know how to say it. I would like to talk about stuff that men are uncomfortable talking about. Mental health is a huge thing. Surrounding yourself with good people is a huge thing. And just like bettering yourself in general. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I've come up with a lot of new friends the last couple of years. I'm also a networker by trade. As a salesman, you make friends everywhere. So I got friends from California to Minnesota to Tennessee, Florida, and everywhere in between. It's just like, you gotta surround yourself with people who are like-minded. I think it's nice to turn my phone off and go travel. If your friends can't afford to go travel, go do it with your spouse. Maybe don't eat out at lunch every day. Bring your lunch. Find a way to save money. There's tons of ways to save money to be able to go do this stuff. And, that stuff is huge. I mean, I deleted my social media. It's probably been 4 or 5 months. You don't gotta have that stuff, and obviously now I'm making a podcast and I'm going to do no social media. I'm just going to be YouTube. Whatever I get off YouTube, it is what it is, and I'm going to have fun with it and just, part of the deal. Greg Fisher, a guy out of my town here, is really big. I think he's got 170,000 subscribers now. He's playing concerts with Zach Bryan. He's playing stuff with Upchurch. He's playing stuff with Old 60 all the time. I think he's a lot bigger on TikTok, but like Instagram, he's not very big, I don't think. So that kind of shows like you don't need that stuff. I'm going to try to build my platform as original as I can on strictly YouTube, and we'll see what happens. I'd like to go to some more concerts this year. I really want to go to a John Summit festival. He's kind of like house music. He's a badass DJ. I'd be really interested to go to one of his concerts. And just like, don't be afraid to cut off shitty friends. And, I will not talk to somebody for 2 years and call them and they're like my best friend. It's how it is. But, if your friends aren't aspiring to better themselves, I got a bunch of friends who I'm proud of as I could ever be. They work for PG&E. I got tons of friends that are truck drivers. But like the guys who just aren't chasing it, right? They're showing up to work late. They just don't care. Do not surround yourself with those guys. Surround yourself with entrepreneurs, hustlers, guys out killing it, working their way from the bottom to the top. And it changes your whole mood. It changes your environment. It changes everything you're after on a daily basis. That's why you do it, I mean, I got some of these friends and, their other clique of friends just like going nowhere and they don't care, they think that's great and fine and they'll probably never own a house. They'll probably never do nothing. They'll probably never even make 6 figures. But it's just like, what are you guys doing? Right now is the golden era of life. I mean, you could ask AI how to make 6 figures a year with no education, without even a high school diploma. It'll find you a way to do it. Lie your way to the top. Fake it till you make it. I mean, you'll figure it out. But you'll never get anywhere surrounding yourself with crappy people. I mean, one of my friends, Chad, I'll have him on for sure at some point. He had a Halloween party, and it's like you kind of look around, it's like everyone there's got it going on. Like there's no one there who's just like bumming around, A lot of the guys are construction guys, farmers, tech guys, nurses, or, doctors, whatever they are, or, working for a manufacturer, they're getting six figures and full benefits. Like if you surround yourself with the right clique of friends, you're going to succeed yourself, And I know, certain people, I just haven't cut them off, but I just don't surround myself. I don't hang out with them. I don't need to, I can go hang out with my friends across town that are out chasing it, doing the blue collar thing, operating, making, big money and working hard every day, starting early, working till dark. And, you can't be more proud than that, But I figured in every podcast, let's talk about something that is empowering, motivating, and just, some way to better yourself. Because there's not enough people doing it. We're 13 minutes in. We're going to call that good. I got to try to figure out how to edit this. I just got a couple of new softwares. So this one is StreamYard. I'm trying to record everything on this. And then I'm actually going to use Podcut, I think it's called. And that'll combine the video from the camera to the audio. And I hope it all works. We're going to try it here shortly. And we'll see. That's it for today. Subscribe. This is the end.